So my name is Maria. I live in Baltimore, and I'm here to tell my story about my vaccine injury.
And who are these lovely people?
This is my son. His name is Harper. He's 6 months. That's my mom.
I'm Christina. She's my daughter.
And
I'm their granddaughter. I'm her
She's my niece.
Cam.
okay, got it. So this is Auntie. Got you. Okay, right. Let's hear your lovely story. Well, probably not lovely.
So I got the Gardasil vax as soon as it kind of hit the streets. I mean, when it first came out, I can't even remember what year it was, but I was fresh out of college, maybe. So about 18 years old. And cancer runs wild in my family on my mom's side. My mom had cervical cancer. I was just afraid of the word cancer. So I thought, oh my God, I have to go get this. It's free. I need to hurry up and get it before the cutoff, so that I won't get cancer. And so that was my only logic. My mom didn't know any better. I didn't know any better. So I go and get the first shot. And from what I was told by my doctor, I immediately went into a seizure. I was on the floor seizing, and then I just passed out cold. And the only thing I remember is the second before the needle went into my arm. And then I remember being pulled up from the floor to the chair, and then having them tell me what had happened to me. And they said it was normal. When would I be back for my rounds 2 and 3? And I obviously didn't come back for that. And then in the year following, I started having these moments where I couldn't move my legs. It would be like feeling paralyzed. Sometimes it was one leg, sometimes it was both legs. And if I was standing, I would have to pick up my one dead leg and hop over to a chair or fall down or whatever. And again, my doctor just said that it was normal. So I guess after a handful of times it stopped happening, and I kind of just forgot about it. And I didn't know that vaccine injury was a thing, and my doctors kept telling me it was normal. So that's what I believed. And around that same time, I started having very violent, my stomach would turn in knots. It was almost like, I guess you could say food poisoning, but extreme. I would land in the ER. The first time it happened, they told me I had pancreatitis. So I was hospitalized for pancreatitis, but they couldn't tell me why. I had none of the precursors, and the same with the seizure. I've never had a seizure. No one in my family has ever seized or have epilepsy or any muscular, degenerative disorder. None of that stuff. I was perfectly healthy and never had anything strange like this happen to me. So then I'm at home one day and I can't eat anything. I'm throwing up. I can't hold food down. I can't even take a sip of water without throwing it back up. And then I fainted. So my mom took me to the ER. That's when they told me of pancreatitis. And then for years after that, I would have these episodes where I didn't even bother going to the hospital, because the next time I went to the ER, I'm first of all waiting for hours. So I would just be dealing with it at home and kind of nurse myself back to health. And every time my doctor would just say, oh, you must have IBS. But everyone that I know that has IBS is not, doubled over in pain. This was more painful to me than childbirth. And I was in labor for him with 12 hours with no epidural. And it hurt more than those contractions. So this happened to me for several years, several times over and over again, just these weird symptoms, which I guess it wasn't until he was born that I started researching vaccine injury, and I started finding stories about how IBD and IBS type symptoms might be linked to Gardasil. I think I found a story about 3 cases in Australia. And then the same thing with the temporary paralysis type feeling. So that's when I started researching, and a friend of mine actually encouraged me to see Vaxxed, which obviously opened my eyes, so I'm grateful to you guys for that. But I remember telling her I was so afraid of what I would find out about what happened to me and about what could potentially happen to my child. So I told her, I said, I'd rather claim blind ignorance because I was vaccinated and I'm fine and everyone I know is fine. And she said, are you really fine? Like, what about all these things that have been happening to you? And, you know, she said, Maria, you're the one with an African-American son. And this story, Vaxxed, is kind of important to that population. And so I saw it and it opened my eyes. So I'm just grateful, you know, to you guys for exposing this. And I guess now my issue is I almost struggle with, you know, do I want to stay in the closet with my, you know, decision to not vaccinate? Because I've already had friends tell me, one, they don't even want to spend their time watching the movie. And two, I shouldn't bring my unvaccinated kid around theirs. So there's a lot. I know where I stand as far as, you know, what I want to subject my child to and what I don't. Now I think my struggle is with how do I bring this message to people, you know.
Can people know what your Facebook is? They can come and give you some love. What are you worried about? You worried about your friends on there? See?
You know, I'll be completely honest. I really am. You know, my husband is.
So they were saying we love you. Look at these hearts. They're going, we love you. Look,
Is that
we love
Periscope?
you. Yeah.
Ja, was dann gute Mord.
You got to be. So is your husband?
Well, no, I was gonna say my husband is a public school principal.
Educator.
He's an educator in the public school system, and so I think it's that, you know, like, oh my God, the school principal, his kid isn't vaccinated because the schools are pushing it and they won't let you come to school if you're not vaccinated. And so I just kind of struggle with, you know, what I project, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's my decision and I won't waver on that. I don't know. The truth is that I just struggle with.
Well, you'll work it out. You'll
Yeah.
work out what the right thing is. The main thing to do is protect your family and your child. So, and now you, how old are you?
9.
And now hearing the story, what are you going to do about vaccines?
You have to think of it.
You're gonna do your research, right? And you're not gonna let anyone do anything
with the Gardasil.
to your
What happened to
body.
your aunt?
Oh, she's not getting Gardasil.
No, she's not
Our mother
getting
and I
that.
have already talked about it. It's not happening.
Good abu.
It's not happening.
Good skin.
No way, no how.
No, she's not getting that.